We love comics, don't mind me. Just getting ready to feed the cats. But before I do, I have to make this video because I think it's time that people actually speak up and just call out hypocrisy. Normally, I don't care about this stuff, but I was watching, and I'm subscribed to Mighty Comics and Collectibles. If you don't know him, he's a good dude. Um, I highly recommend subscribing to his channel and checking him out. In my opinion, he's one of the ones that are people you want to listen to. But he did a video that, of course, and I call him Stinky Goose, um, came back. What a shocker. It's talking a whole bunch of stuff. And I just want to make a video really quick because the hypocrisy from what I saw from Mighty Comic and Collectibles video clips shows me this guy has no clue what he's talking about, and he doesn't even see the hypocrisy and how he basically insulted like 90% of the comic book community. Does he not notice he has graded comics? Let me ask anybody out there that has any kind of brain cell. What do you think is the number one reason that people grade their comics? Do you think they're grading their comics because they want to read them? No, they're grading them because they want to make money. And let me ask you something, Stinky Goose. And I can't wait for your response video that I'm not going to watch to show how much that I live rent-free in your head. Because I didn't go to your channel, I didn't watch your video, I didn't watch your video about you leaving. I just got messages from people saying you are, and I said, there's no way you're going to leave. And by the way, you have to announce that you're leaving. I mean, you talk about egos and stuff like that. When I shut down my channel, I didn't make a video announcing to everybody that I was leaving. I just shut my channel down. So a person that really complains about the drama in the YouTube community, you certainly cause a lot of it. And you talk about gatekeepers. Isn't your channel all about like insulting people like me and others? I mean, like I said, I don't watch your videos, so I could give two garbage pieces of whatever about what you do. But I mean, hypocrisy. Okay, so you yourself even own CGC Comics, right? Graded comics. Let me ask you another question. Since you talk about people who have you have a problem with people that get comics for money and monetary purposes. You have a job, right? Do you work for free? Your wife has a job, right? Does she work for free? I don't know if you have kids or anything. Because like I said, I don't follow you. I don't follow morons. But let's assume you have kids. Do you want them to grow up and get jobs and just not get paid? Everybody does everything in their life to get money so they can support their family and support their future. So there are many people that put their money and invest it in stocks. There are people that put it into precious metals. There are people that will put it into bonds. There will be people that will invest in lots of different things. So what's the difference between a stock and a comic book other than the fact that you don't get any enjoyment out of a stock? Okay? And you talk about making money like it's a bad thing. Considering from what I heard from the comment sections when you were giving your cry I'm leaving video, what was it, about a month or two ago? You couldn't even last a month. You kept bragging about how much money you supposedly make. So you go to work because you want to make money. Why? Because that's how you buy food, clothing, shelter, things like that. So if somebody wants to do, like I've never made it any hidden fact that the reason I even own my house that I bought cash is because I sold some of my comics, and without those, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So instead of investing in stocks and things, which I tried and did very bad in because I didn't take my own advice, I actually didn't research stocks the way I should have, and I lost the money. And I paid the price for that, and I learned that you really need to know what you're doing. I know about comics. Like the other day, I'm sure you watch my videos, you're just not man enough to critique them. That's why you talk so much stuff about me, and I really know nothing about you because I don't watch your videos. But I just turned a Tales of Suspense number 39 from a $5,000 comic into about an $11,000 comic. So yes, I will agree with you from your clips that I saw from Mighty Comics and Collectibles, that there are people that will just spend money to spend money. Well, there's a difference between spending money and spending money wisely. But again, there's nothing wrong with somebody doing something like that because if it supports their family. And a lot of times I put my own personal happiness aside financially because my collection is for my wife when I pass away. I want to make sure by the time all is said and done, and I'm getting closer to it, that I have between a $250,000 and $500,000 collection, that when I die, I can leave to my wife, and she will never have to worry for the rest of her life. Does that seem like a bad thing to do? Okay, but that's not the only thing I have. I literally have a huge collection of gold and silver that I've been collecting for the longest time and investing in. People invest in things like cars. Are they bad people because they invest in cars because they can make money off of them? How many people do you know, like, for example, very famous people who have garages full of cars they never drive? So is that bad that they actually took them, restored them, and kept them from falling apart? I mean, we already have one Dr. Phil. We don't need another Dr. Phil. Okay? So I don't know why you're preaching to people and why you care so much about what other people do. I mean, you talk about in the clips that I saw about the Peter Pan complex. So you're upset that people want to be adults that still maintain their inner child. You know what their inner child is? Happiness, joy, excitement, fun. And from the clips I saw from your video, you look like you're having as much fun as a person going to get an enema with an anal gland problem. Okay? You really shouldn't be preaching, especially with, if you look in your background, you have all those video games. Okay, so you're an adult and you're playing video games, and you're going to lecture people about comics. There is no wrong way to collect comics, and for you to have the arrogance and the ego to say that somebody else is wrong shows that you are such a narcissist that you can't even be happy for other people. And you talk about gatekeepers in this community. I'm sure you watch my channel. Like I said, you're not man enough to ever leave comments except that one time. But I know you watch my videos. I don't care. But if you actually do watch my channel, I do nothing but support the community. I give all my advice for free. I try and help them. I'm not about pushing anybody away. I agree that there are some people that are here for the wrong reason, and I definitely agree there are some gatekeepers. But it's definitely not as much as you think. But you sit there on your videos insulting people. And I know this because you made videos about me. And then you had the audacity to come to my channel and during a live feed that had nothing to do with you and tried to troll me. I mean, don't mistake my kindness for weakness, my dude. Okay? You sit there and just lecture people. That's narcissism. That's an ego. You really need to check yourself. Why do you give a rat's ass about what everybody else does when it has no concern over you other than you need to stick your foot in and say, hi, I need to be relevant, so I'm going to talk about what everybody else does? Because when you started your channel, I would assume that you were talking about comics. And I saw one or two of your videos where you just insulted people. And I'm like, okay, you have the right to do it, but there's a saying in the world, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So you get glory and you got fame from basically being a troll, okay? And insulting people, because I've never said anything about you, dude, and yet I've heard, and again, I've never watched them because I don't care, that you've insulted me and attacked me for no reason, okay? So you talk about gatekeepers. Isn't that what a gatekeeper does? Try and insult other people and keep them out of a community, okay? So the hypocrisy in you is so thick, I mean, you could pour it on your pancakes. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And you're going to make fun of people because they want joy. You want to make fun of people because they want to make a living and pay for bills. Okay? Let me know where you volunteer. Show me your tax records where you've spent your whole life not working, because it's not about the money, right? So if you spend your money in the stocks, it's okay. If you spend your money on Bitcoin, it's okay. If you spend your money on Rembrandts and other pieces of art, that's okay, but you draw the line at comic books. So then let me ask you, my friend, why do you have CGC graded comics? Did you buy those graded comics because you wanted to read them, and that's why you encapsulated them in plastic? I mean, dude, be real, okay? So I know for a fact, 100%, that you are going to make a response video to this and you're going to mention my name. I'm going to tell you right now, never going to watch it. And I want my subscribers to not even tell me in the comment section, because this is how much I care about you, okay? I do what I want, and I don't care what anybody else says. But there are so many people in the comic book community that are very intimidated by people and they're afraid to speak their mind or give their honest truth. I'm not one of those people, and that's probably why many of the people in the comic book community don't like somebody like me, because I'm not afraid to speak my mind. Now, I could be 100% wrong, and that's perfectly fine. The difference is when I'm wrong, I check myself. You, dude, you need some humbling in your life, okay? For a person who brags about how much you and your wife make financially, and then about people about their lifestyles and their how they make money is absolutely ridiculous. Nobody cares how much money you make, okay? I don't care. And my investments make me money because I actually chose to something I'm very knowledgeable about, something I grew up with as a kid that brings me nostalgia, something I know a lot about. I don't just spend my money just to waste it. I spend it so this way I can take care of bills. I can take care of the 20 to 25 stray cats that I'm actually late feeding now, making this stupid video. And like I said, to make sure my wife never has to work again when I pass on. So if you think that's a bad thing, first of all, I don't care. And second of all, there's a famous YouTuber in the weightlifting community that says, you need to mind your own business. Okay, so I can't wait to know that I live rent-free in your head, because I know you'll make a response video. Your ego cannot stop you from doing it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not going to watch it. I don't care. But you're attacking 95% of the comic book community, because every single person, especially comic book channels where they want a 9.8 on their CGC comic and they get a 9.6, and what do they say? Oh, I'm just going to keep cracking it open until eventually they give me the 9.8. You know how many YouTubers are out there in the comic book community? Big YouTubers out there you're trying to insult? I could care less. And you can attack my appearance. You know what? I actually wanted to shave my beard, but my wife absolutely loves it. And that's why I'm keeping it. So if you want to talk about, oh, I'm not grooming myself or whatever, and you want to insult why I look, first of all, I really could care what another dude thinks about me. The only person I care about how I look is my wife. So if you want to insult what I look like, that's great, because you know what? I don't swing that way. So I really could care less if you thought I was well groomed or not. I do things that make my wife happy. I do things to make myself happy. I do things to make those I care about happy. And the people that watch my channel, I do what I can to try and make them happy by teaching positivity and how you can, if you put in the effort, actually reward yourself. And it's okay to make some money in that. Because like I said, unless you work for free, you do things for money too. So how dare you tell anybody what they're doing that brings them joy or just a moment's of peace is wrong. You are an arrogant, egotistical narcissist that needs to be checked. So this is the last time I will ever talk about you again, because you are irrelevant to me and many people in the community. The only reason you have relevance is you keep sticking yourself into situations that had nothing to do with you. And maybe you might want to learn a little bit more about Peter Pan before you use that analogy. Peter Pan is not exactly what you think it is. It's all about men that want to keep control of boys and want to stay young and keep them young so they can, let's just say, abuse them in non-consensual ways. So you really might want to dig into your analogies about Disney, which is, Walt Disney, who was a known, I'll put in Scooby-Doo language, redophile. So you might want to learn a little bit more. Stop being the Dr. Phil of the comic book community. Nobody really cares. If you want to make videos about positivity. Share your collection and be happy with it. Like I said, dude, you talk about adults reading comic books. Right behind you in your video, you have a stack of video games. Does that mean that you should throw those out? Or maybe they have some kind of meaning to you, or maybe it's something that brings you joy, and that's okay. Grow up, my friend. Make your response video. Prove to everybody in the comic book community that I'm right, that I live rent-free in your head, and you'll never see a comment from me, and I won't watch it. Because I don't care. Grow up, get rid of your ego, mind your own business, and let people do whatever makes them happy. Because you know what? For about 2.5 to 3 years, there was a thing called Rovid, and there were people that were committing suicide. There were people that were turning to alcoholism, and they were very depressed and things like that. And some people actually found comic books again and got into a community, and it made them feel welcome, that made them feel not alone. And you want to try and take that away from them because you feel like you're better than everybody because maybe you shave your head smoother or you keep your beard trimmed. You're all about the outside appearance. You got to work on what's inside, my dude. Have fun making the response video. I'm sure people will enjoy it. But until then, check yourself. Learn to be humble. Learn to appreciate life. Or return all of the money you've made for working, because you wouldn't want people to think that you do things for money.